Hey, I'm Eric. Today we're going to be doing another Nova Drift game. We're going to be doing a shield focus build this time around. Now, last video also had shield defense, but when I say focused, I mean we're not even going to worry about our weapon. It's going to be all about the shields. So we don't care about the weapon. But I have a specific shield in mind. I want heat. No, there it is. Halo. So Halo constantly burns anything inside its area of effect, but your shield takes damage while this is happening. We're going to need that regardless. So there's a couple key things about this aside from just durability, and one is the radius. This is going to be hugely important, and that too. So I'm getting both of these things to vastly improve the shield radius. And the reason I'm getting all of them is that while the shield does a certain amount of damage to everything in the radius, it's per enemy, and I don't take any more damage for hitting 3 enemies than I do for hitting 1. So I want to hit as many enemies as fast as possible. The shield is also great for getting these. This isn't the only aura damage shield in Nova Drift, but it's more dependable. Oh yes, Galvanic Outburst. It's more dependable than the other one that I generally think of, Siphon, because Siphon does a flat damage to whatever it's in its shield, and by that I mean it does, I think, 120 damage total. So if there's 2 things in its shields, it does 60 damage to one and 60 to the other. But Halo has its effect for each enemy in its shield. Kind of like the opposite of the Siphon in some ways. But the side effect is very different. Oof. I'm going to go for damage right away, because early game rushing damage is a pretty respectable tactic. Later on, I'll need a ton more durability. But right now, the damage is fine. So I'm not using my gun a whole lot, and I could be shooting more. And it does decent damage even at this early phase of the game. But I'm more or less ignoring it. I'm just getting used to. It's not going to have guns eventually. Which is a good segue for the next thing. A critical mod for this kind of a build is Hidden Power, which gives you a 50% boost to damage. But you can't use weapons with Hidden Power. Or can't use guns, rather. Oh, damn, I already have it. I'm going to grab that right away. I'm not planning on worrying about guns, so it isn't a significant consideration. But Hidden Power is very much one of those builds, one of those mods that's either critical for your build or extremely detrimental to it. Doesn't have a whole lot of middle ground. Oh, yeah. All right. Got most of the damaging effects right off the bat. So that weaponized shield effect, you'll notice I have 2 circles around my ship. There's the bright yellow one, or orange, that's the fire. The much more subtle one, that's the weaponized effects. Anything in that subtler aura takes bonus damage. So at this point, if you're in my shield aura, you're in that aura too. I'm gonna want adaptive armor, but I want to get more shield mods first. Oh, this is really great for durability, but I'm still focused on damage. Omni shield, yep. You might notice that the power up went off the screen there, and so enemies can't normally screen wrap. Some of them do. Um, Most notably the Vanguards and the Celestials when they do their charge attacks. But but very few other enemies can. The experienced little floaty things, they they can do screen wrapping. Normally, it's not really a big deal. Doesn't matter. But you might need to bring it into your plan. Just consider it. Yeah, I need more. I need more damage resistance. And it is great just scything through these little guys. Let's see. It's a very important durability mod for the shields. I mean, the slower cooldown sucks, but it'll pay for it many times over in the long run. Normally there's a gyro gun with that train. Wonder if he got eaten. Is that? Yeah, all right. Station Omega. This is somewhere the huge area of effect is going to pay big dividends. I am doing a ton of damage to Station Omega really fast here. And I really like boosting my damage potential even more. Oh, I might get through all of its... Yeah. All right. I mean, Station Omega has a lot of parts, so those sorts of huge AoE weapons work really well against it. But that still speaks very well. I want all these other mods, but Bravado doesn't come up very often. I'm gonna pick it up. And I don't mind tougher enemies. Just means more score. Or better score. That's what I meant. And another outburst. It's a great offensive power. It's a good defensive power. Galvanic outburst is just really useful in general. I do need to get the damaging trail upgrade soon, though. For this kind of a build, it's even more useful than the teleport. Well, I don't. Well, maybe not more useful, but has more constant use. Yeah, I do want that too. I'll get the regeneration when you're not firing upgrade eventually. It's on the short list of upgrades I want. But I really like maxing out the burning mod tree with this particular build because everything on it is useful to me. Of course, if I want to get a little bit of bonus damage, I can ram things. Purification, even more burn damage plus shield recovery. Ugh, it's a no-brainer for this build. You know, I should have tried to do a no firing challenge this time. I think the thrusters will be more useful. I definitely could have done it. Barely even used my guns this run so far, and I can't anymore. Yeah, with this build, the hordes are pretty easy prey. Later on, the giant beef gates are gonna be problematic. The biggest juggernauts are gonna be a big issue. If I had to guess, I'd say that they're gonna be the thing that kills me. Or sets the stage for my death, one or the other. Let's see, yeah, I'm not gonna do any of that. I guess I could use the self-damage resistance if I get the shield mod, or the attack shield mod. I'm not gonna worry about it. I mean, it'd basically be spending a mod slot on a tiny bit of hull durability and some self-damage resistance, but I've got 17 hull. If my shield breaks, I'm pretty screwed. So there is another area of effect shield mod I could have gotten that would have improved the damage of my burning aura and max shields, but would have cost me area of effect for my shield's aura. And that's just really important. Like, I wouldn't be able to even get it within my area of effect if it was at all reduced. It's just barely there. Yeah, this is the one, focus shields. So discharge. Deals more damage and greater reach with slower firing weapons. I never upgraded my weapon, so I'm not going to worry about it. And get efficiency. Ah, silly bolt throwers. Make me a little harder to hit, give me some more thrust, maybe. But now's the time for adaptive armor. Gotta love the damage we're doing here. It's not always, it's not exciting in quite the same way as the split shot build. I'll give you that. I'm definitely gonna need more damage if I get hurt. I think my shield regen is strong enough. Yeah! More galvanic outburst. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I didn't see that one up top. Yeah. More duration for my armor stack sounds awesome. Minefields. At least it's not a thick one. This is just some snapjaws or snappers augmented with mines. Could be a lot worse. Teleport. The blink is really good. So there is an option to turn off the little control briefings. See in the lower left-hand part of my screen, and shows me the button to blink. But yeah, I kind of like having the reminder. At this point, I don't forget, but I still like having the reminder. Pass on that for right now. Could do Scorching Wake. But I want... Let me get Channeling first. So I actively decided not to get the top of the armor stack skill tree. But there's a reason behind it. There's this mod, Dying Star, that does constant damage to you, but also lights everything around you on fire. Burning damage, huge radius. And the prerequisites are the top of the armor stack tree for the self-damage resistance and Candescence, which I got pretty early on. And I just don't want it in the pool just yet. I want to get all of the armor stack things before that comes down. Love Discord. It's a fantastic additional source of damage. Ah, Warbringer. One of these times I need to do a last stand build just to see how that works out. But not this time. Core shielding. All right. Ah, dang it. Didn't dodge that last one. Scion. We meet again. Still managed to take it out before it got to its singularity stage. That's nice. It will not always happen. Here's a champion juggernaut. And now I've got to start moving a little more carefully. He went down pretty quick. Yeah, this is what I meant, the dying star. I don't want to take it in this particular build. So I'm just going to move on. Global speed boost as speed, global damage boost as speed goes up, huh? I want that faster turn. Another Scion. All the bosses in this game, after you fight them the first time, with the exception of Station Omega, end up coming back again and again. But Scion seems to be a particularly popular one. We'll be seeing a lot of him. Him and Spitfire. The first boss you fight before Station Omega. Warbringer never. I mentioned this in another video, but Warbringer never appears with any other bosses. Not that I've seen, anyway. Although I've played this game enough to feel confident about saying he never shows up. Let's see. Don't want that. Definitely don't want smaller shields. There it is, the rotation speed. You know, I might want to take that discharge mod just for things like the champion juggernauts if I have trouble getting close to one of them. And conceptually, it's not that dissimilar from taking or ramming an enemy to intentionally discharge galvanic outburst. Though it's self-damage, so I don't think it applies. Don't think it can trigger galvanic outburst. It does trigger the reflexive shields, though. This is a deployment pattern we're going to see a lot of. These bolt throwers at the bottom and left sides of the screen. Later on, they show up on all sides of the screen. They're one of the simpler enemies we face, but just because of the amount of projectiles they can put out if you don't kill them quickly, they can be dangerous. They're not a huge risk, though. Just the drive-by there. Usually there's a five projectile gyro gun in that. Yep. There's that Scion. I mean, I'd rather have done the damage to Scion, but I can't just let those guys charge their guns and fire. They have one of the more dangerous weapons of a average mook. Long charge time though, so I try to keep them from shooting if I can. Is this Seraph? He shouldn't be too hard to beat. None of the others have really given me much of a challenge. As long as I stay out of his slow-moving, easy to avoid damage pods, that is. I could not accelerate him. That's fine. I don't know why, but this kind of reminds me. I tried to watch some old mystery TV shows. I was on a mystery kick a little while ago, and I remember seeing Columbo and Murder She Wrote when I was a kid, and thinking, oh, you know what? I wonder how those shows have aged. And it must have taken them some time to really find their legs, or maybe I'm just definitively not the target audience. But geez, the at least the first few episodes of those two shows they haven't aged all that well. I mean, there's nothing offensive in them. It's just they're not interesting, which is arguably the worst offense in a TV show. You know what? I rarely take that. I'm gonna take it this time. Really want to zoom around. Well, that's weird. I've never seen an enemy straight up spawn in before. They are they usually do that off screen, I assume. I can't say for sure. I haven't seen it before. This is another attack that gets only more difficult to evade as time goes. Like eventually, there's those two train or four trains, or let's see, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 trains. Eventually, there'll be 8 trains, and they'll all be pretty long, pretty difficult to deal with. I am gonna take the discharge. I mean, it's not a statistical gain, but it is a new capability. And it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Which I first heard of referred to as the condom philosophy. Yeah, it fits. Hmm. Did I take that one wild mod that increases my shield power with speed? I think I did. Yeah, I have a ton of thrust. I'm gonna take that one the next time I see it. Unless there's something markedly better. Which at this point, I mean, my build is more or less complete. I can add to it. In hell, ataraxia would be useful, but ataraxia. It's a very kind of peculiar build or super mod. You need 3 unspent points to take it. Yeah, Wild Horizons yeah, wild energized shields. Yeah, I'll take this. You need 3 unspent mod points to take it, and for each unspent mod point you have, Ataraxia gives you a 5% global damage boost and an additional 1% bonus to your max shields and hull. It's something basically everybody could use. But it's a pretty boring mod. It's just stats. I've used it before. And you get some mod points behind it. You can get pretty beastly with it. But it's not as exciting as like having a new attack. Oof. Wonder how much energized shields improves my shield power. Does it say? Looks a lot like discharge. It's increased by your current speed. Doesn't say by how much. Made that kind of bet before, but it's not one I generally enjoy making. Extra damage for friction loss. I do want the emergency shield, so I'll get that. Another juggernaut. Small one this time, though. Wonder how. Okay, the next small juggernaut I come across, provided there's time to tinker around, I'm not gonna ram it. I'm gonna see how quickly I can take care of it with discharge and just the shield's ambient damage. No galvanic outburst, in other words. Let's see. Hmm. Interesting. I don't think I want it, but interesting. I think I just got through saying I don't generally like to pit durability on durability. And there I go. God, I have so much speed, so much maneuverability. Zoom around so easily. We got Spitfire. Get it? Yes, I got it before its little thing went out. Oof. Really glad I got that mod that limits shield damage taken. Pretty sure it would have killed me if I hadn't. Yeah, the whole thing was just on me. I didn't handle this particular Scion very well. Hmm. Definitely not the build for that kind of thing. Another Scion. Another Scion. If I have the time, that's the way to go. Well, if I have the position. What's this? Oh, Sanctuary. Ah, so this is a hard one to tell. Because I lose the cooldown entirely. But I get more shields, and my aura becomes even more dangerous. And my current shield effect power is 173%. 174. So I do a ton of damage, but I lose cooldown entirely. Hmm. Let me get emergency systems first. I think I will get it, if only because it gives me even more damage with my shields. Well, So I mentioned, percentage increases, but I don't actually know how much damage my shields do. You could sit down and do the math and figure out exactly how much the shield effect is boosted and then figure out the burn boost, but I'm not entirely sure what order they're applied in. I would think that it goes shield effect and then burn, but I don't know. Could ask the developer, I suppose. Another Scion. Damn. And I don't want any of these, so I'm just gonna not pick one until I get a reroll. Why am I dancing around it? Never really killed a snapper uh, very deliberately before. That is to say, I've never really killed one by taking its little tentacles away and then seeing how it behaved. I wonder if that would slow. I wonder if that slows its maneuverability or its agility, or what effect that has. And this is not the build to attempt that kind of thing. My damage is much too indiscriminate. Although, I am very fast. So I could dance around, try to get exactly behind one. Yeah, if that had been a champion Juggernaut, I would have been in some trouble there. I got distracted thinking about the snapjaws and not paying attention to the issue at hand. I think it died off screen though. Eh, let's see, 701,000. Another Scion. I think that was uh, corrosion stacks killing him. Have that. What's it called? Yeah, I have discharge, but I need to be careful because I also have the armor stack mod that lets me shoot all my armor all my armor stacks as explosive projectiles, which is like great for a source of more damage, but they also grant durability. So I think discharge is most useful at the beginning of a fight. This is a situation where Sanctuary would suck. And I'm about to get all my shields back thanks to cooldown. There it is. Sanctuary removes cooldown unless my shields have broken. Oh man. Paying too much attention to that constructor. Not enough to the celestial. Almost got out of hand. Another Scion. My damage isn't quite high enough to just vaporize enemies. Still takes a moment of exposure. Still no rerolls. I might be getting ataraxia just because. Warbringer, Part 2. Yeah, I probably mispronounced that. Ah, shit. Great big hit point barrels. I mean, it's basically more of an obstacle than an actual enemy. It finally blew up. See, I showed you how many rerolls you had without going into the upgrade menu. That'd be nice. There it is. So I'm all multicolored right now. I have a super mod. It faded. But what it does is make you much faster, your weapons do more damage, improves just your stats across the board. I was really hoping I could achieve that. Take it out before it got the singularity going. And I can use the singularity to help take out Seraph, but it's kind of hectic. It's kind of hectic. Mm, that was not good. None of the things happening right now are good. Alright, I'm back at full health. Huh. Giving up the cooldown is going to be hard. I'm still planning on it because I think it'll be a little bit more interesting. But if I just wanted a higher score, if I just wanted to make a more successful build, I think I wouldn't take the Sanctuary mod. Whenever I get rerolls to spend on that kind of thing. Uh, oh my goodness, my shields. Oh man, not having a weapon with any range is, or a way to hit the enemy at any range is kind of rough. Third Warbringer. All right. Come on, blow up the nubbins. I mean, I guess technically there's thrusters. Ooh. Got it before it went super. Okay, discharge was definitely a good choice. I regret it not at all anymore. I think it also triggers reflexive shielding. Gotta love that. Oh, what is that mod again? Corrosion. Gotta love that corrosion. Another super. Huh. Seems like things just got a bit faster. And at this point, I want an upgrade for no other reason than to get ataraxia. Gosh, I feel very confident I'm misspelling that or mispronouncing it. This isn't good. Oh, it almost got to its singularity phase. Gotta love that burn damage. Yeah, this is basically a build centered entirely around dots and burn damage. And it's not the only one you can do. There are very strong Dying Star builds out there that are pretty nasty to deal with. You can even do Dying Star with a shield. With this shield, if you like. I didn't opt to do that. That's just not what I was going for. And it boils down to a kind of durability race condition. Oh shit, I lost my shields. And they're back. The Dying Star build tends to do even more damage, but it tends to be more fragile because you have to constantly regenerate your shields in the face of the actual self damage that you're taking. Hey, rerolls. Dying Star, Sanctuary. Oh, well, I'm gonna get another Galvanic Outburst. And Ataraxia. I mean, I do want the Sanctuary. It just, Galvanic Outburst. They don't come up every day. Plus, it buffs Discord. And it is hard to find a build that isn't at least useful to have Discord. Oh, so self-damage can also trigger my armor stacks. That's nifty to know. Scion and Spitfire again. Another Warbringer. All right. Uh, Back-to-back Warbringers. All right. A couple firsts in this video. Usually Warbringer is a fairly uncommon boss to face. A lot of my runs I end up facing Seraph more often than I face Warbringer. Not this one, obviously. This is the third Warbringer I faced, and I've taken down Seraph twice. No rerolls. It's a lot going on there. I should have seen that champion Vanguard though. Guy almost screwed me. Yeah, he's not so bad. You know, I am trying to avoid ramming as many things, especially since I have discharge to use instead. But it is nice to have that kind of retributive strike. If an enemy does manage to ram me, the galvanic outburst is gonna make them regret it. Oh man. Yes. Man, you see how fast he charged that? I don't know if I can't. Yeah, I mean, I obviously can't kill him fast enough. No upgrades. Or no rerolls. Oh, oh man. Shit. Oh. Oh. Thought I screwed myself trying to get those that little cargo train. Came real close. It's the second time my shields have broken. Yeah, all the enemies are getting faster, more durable, running into far more champion level enemies. So I can't kill them that fast anymore. What I can maybe do is control where they're shooting those things. If I can get them just out of this central play area, that'd be really useful. rerolls yet. I don't think I got any rerolls there either. Whoa! What hit did I take that took out my shields entirely? Unless I wasn't paying attention and I had very low shields, which is possible. I thought I was at a respectable level. So I have never reset the scoreboard for this game, and some of my high scores aren't really achievable anymore. I'm stubborn. I like what I've got there. But the lowest high score on my board is 179, or no, 1.79 million. So I am within shouting distance of that now. This run might make it onto the high score. I was trying to use barrier there to bolster my shield resistance, because I knew there was way too many mines. There's no way I was dodging them all. And once I've just been sitting there for a while, the damage resistance is pretty far up there. These hives are doing a good deal of damage to me. Goodbye to that hive. Hey, regardless of what else happens on this build, we've made it onto my high scoreboard, which is freaking fantastic. I think I'm gonna leave Sanctuary alone. Yeah, I'd like the greater shield effect damage, but the cooldown saved me so many times. Interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, looks like we killed the Celestial. Not exactly sure where we killed it, but it died in there somewhere. It's the important part. Oh my god, that damn thing is putting out so many of those orbs. Yes, the Eclipse is down too. So it's just Seraph now. Oh, discharge is essential. I never would have made it this far if I didn't have it. This from a mod I was considering not getting at all. Uh-oh. Seraph has picked up a ton of maneuverability. God damn it, die. Yes. That's unfortunate. It spawned in right where the worms were twisting and writhing. So I couldn't adopt my standard place of behind him. All right, cool. Ah, they got me right before I got to the edge. 193 or 1,931,460. Hell yeah. All right. So that's the high scores. So not only did we get on it, we got pretty high up there. Yeah, this build is no longer possible. Not enough of those armor mods drops. But yeah, that's something to be proud of. All right, it's the end of this video.